There's truly a short list of people I talk to about life and creations. Most don't understand, but in my mind, there's really no separation between the two. Thankfully for me, though, the homeboy Joshua Asante gets it. And I hope y'all enjoy this conversation we had on one pleasant afternoon. Look around and I'm still here, I celebrate. I celebrate, I celebrate, I celebrate. I celebrate, I celebrate, I celebrate, I celebrate. Celebrate what a brother done. Celebrate what we about to come from. Celebrate those that love to hate, mark upon their face, but they ain't about none. I celebrate.
Yeah, so typically, man, like even if I'm shooting something in black and white that I know is going to be monochrome, I like for there to be different textures to add some depth to a photograph. From a professional standpoint, I like to have the set figured out beforehand.
Like you visualize it, or you actually run through it?
Well, I like for a client to feel like I spent some time thinking about what their setup was going to be like, because that creates ease.
Yeah, for sure.
And the more ease, the more vulnerable they could be. So I want a subject to look the healthiest that they could be.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I don't do a lot of editing and
their
stuff.
ease when they just first sit down.
Something about the ease, like man, your mood physically changes your face.
True.
You know,
right,
so when people are relaxed, body language is everything.
Yeah.
You know, there's a comfort level that I need you to get to do what I do. Because what I'm doing, I'm not trying to do anything superficial. I need you to be calm. Mm-hmm.
How do you escape or handle the boxes other people try to put you in? Because now you're known as Joshua Asante, right? This is prolific.
Am I?
Yeah, like with the hands like that and everything,
with
man.
All that.
Yeah, all that right there, right?
I feel in this space.
Exactly, in there is Joshua Asante, right? They say
it's in italics. And bold.
And bold. With the other line, man.
Bold
They just hit all
italics.
of, right?
Yeah.
So like, how do you actually like create within that space or not become subjected to it, or conform to it?
People are so fickle, man, that I really can't be preoccupied with it. If I have an idea or a set of ideas that I think deserve to be embellished, I just roll with it, you know? I feel like I've lived honestly enough internally that when I'm faking it, I know. Mm-hmm. I'm in the studio sometimes, whether I'm photographing or making music, and I know that there's something that is expected of me. If I feel like doing that, I will. Most of the time I won't. Just because I feel like it's expected. It's like, oh, nah, man. Don't tell me what you thought I was gonna do. I'll make you like something else.
Right.
You know? I feel like if you remember when you got rhythm, you're probably not musically inclined naturally. Like gotcha. I remember.
Like you remember?
I remember the day.
I'm on beat now.
No, I remember the specific day that I found rhythm and it made sense to me. I was 11 years old. My dad was my pastor, and my brother had been the drummer. And I'd always admired that, but I knew that I couldn't play. And he's just like, you gonna play drums? I'm like, all right, you know. And it was terrible, man, for weeks, bro. It was the worst. It was the worst experience ever for weeks. And one day he was playing, and he was so frustrated with me being off beat that he just yelled across the pulpit, like, watch my foot. He was playing the organ and patting his foot, and it just clicked.
Yeah.
With my limited understanding, instead of trying to take a formal approach and like, oh man, I will go back to school and learn music theory and pick an instrument and dedicate my life to it, I didn't have that kind of time. And so instead of like trying to learn their language, I figured out what made sense to me, and I just leaned into my language, and I played and arranged, wrote and arranged songs day in and day out. So I can make contemporary indie music knowing that like the roots of this is Black, because I know that it came from the hymns that turned into the blues, that splintered into jazz and soul and R&B, and that was rock and roll and all that. But to do it on purpose, to do it not understanding that it's black, but to do it because it's black, and to do it for people who are black, and that if anybody else gets it, God bless you, but this is not necessarily for you. That's more where I am now. I am a black person making music that I understand to be by and for black people.
So,
well, let me ask you a question. Is that cool?
We getting it.
Because we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Like, just my vocal cadence and your vocal cadence creates confusion.
Yeah.
Like, often, you know?
Right.
So do you find that if you're just stating what you believe to be true, is it mistaken as, like, arrogance or...
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And also what I've learned now is how to do it. It almost depends on what group of people I'm amongst, right?
Yeah.
So like you and I converse on a level, and we just get that junk. And it's like, it doesn't have to be overstated or understated.
Right.
If you like, hey, I just created a dope song, I know what that means.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it means it's dope to me.
Exactly.
Also objectively though.
Yes, very much so, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it happens all the time, man. What would you say are creative pieces that you've made where you felt it achieved what it needed to achieve or was transcended even what you thought it might be?
I shot this body of work, 35 women. I photographed them in a couple of days. A museum acquired that, 3 or 4 of those pieces. Yeah, and then another museum offered me an exhibition with similar work. And here I was, had never advertised as a photographer, never took a big interest in being the popular, you know, and in a matter of a year, I had museum representation in 2 different places. For me, I was like, that's cool. You know, galleries, shows they come and go, and if the gallery doesn't purchase any work, that show is over. Museums, they keep things for posterity, you know. And now I have more work in museums than I've ever had in galleries. So I think about posterity a lot. So for me, rather than an achievement, it's like, oh, that's longevity. You know, that's something that 30 years from now, somebody else with my last name can go point to and say, I knew that dude.
That's bro. Yeah,
you know,
for sure. Life going life, man.
Life going life. You don't have to roll with it or get rolled on. So.
Yeah, man. But my G, from like friend standpoint, creative standpoint, man, appreciate all you do, man.
Thank you, man.
Looking forward to whatever's coming next.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, appreciate you doing the Glow with me, bro.
For sure, man.
For sure.
All right. We would dab, but we're not supposed to.
That was it was a virtual dab. Y'all saw it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, it's hard for me to believe that Joshua wasn't born with some type of talent. Also, I know hard work contributed to his successes. But where I believe his glow truly lies is in his journey to further become himself and putting it on display for all to witness. It's equal parts entertaining, challenging, and freeing, and I appreciate the brother for it.
But they ain't about no, I celebrate.
Thank y'all for checking out this episode of The Glow. And while y'all here, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, check out some more content from Arkansas PBS. See you next Tuesday, 10 a.m. for the next episode.